Okay, this is Changing Faces' second birthday. It's still cold, it's still raining, but something else that's still going on is the music. And speaking of music, Sam Turner here, one of the DJs playing tonight. Good evening, sir. Now you had one of the main headlining sets, I'd like to say. That's what I'd like to describe it. Now, Changing Faces has now become 2 years old. That's what we're all here celebrating. Tell me, what does CF mean to you?
So Changing Faces for me is basically a gathering of like-minded people that are just interested in good music, good vibes, and just going out and having a good night in general, to be honest with you. Every one of these events that we've come to is always get a good crowd. DJs always bring a different genre and something different to the night. And yeah, it's quality, mate.
And that, well, there's no right or wrong answer to that, but I would say if there was, that would be the right answer to for that question. Now, yeah, you have obviously DJ'd tonight, and one thing we all want to know, especially Dan holding the camera, is we want to know about your preparation into tonight, you know, about what tracks you were thinking about and your overall preparation for tonight. What were your thoughts to go into it?
So with regards to preparation for tonight, I didn't actually go too deep into getting a specific set together, but more so a collection of around 40 to 50 tracks in a playlist that I could choose from, and basically just see how it goes, to be honest with you. Fortunately, it seemed to go quite well tonight. I'm really happy with it and seemed to get a good response. But yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it goes better that way. It's certainly more exciting when you don't know exactly what direction it's going in.
Yeah, I know that full well because yeah, I didn't really prepare for my set that much. I got like 2 tracks together, but that was it. Yeah, and this is a question now that I've sort of asked everyone so far that's been interviewed. You can be as honest as you want because we're all DJs here.
Yeah.
Everyone is a DJ. Everyone in this frame is probably a DJ. Everyone down the street and all. So my question is, obviously, because everyone's been DJing tonight, how many track IDs have you nicked?
Do you know what? There must have been at least 4 or 5, especially off of Amber so far, to be honest with you. She's pulled some bangers out, I can't lie.
Well, the honesty in this interview is through the roof. That's all I need to say. Now, aside from the work that you've done, that you're going to do for us for Changing Faces, and the work that you've done for us for Changing Faces, what else have you got going on in the year 2020? What's going on for Sam Turner?
So we've actually been quite fortunate this year. We have got some good plans coming up. So we've got the Sunday at We Are Festival, which is always a solid festival. To be able to play alongside some of the acts that go there is nothing less than an honour, to be honest with you. So we've got that to look forward to. Also in June, between the 18th and the 22nd, we're going over to Ibiza for 5 days, and we're not sure exactly on where we'll be on what days, but again, We Are Festival we're doing there, We Are Ibiza out there, and we're getting involved in that. There's something coming up at Savannah Hotel out there, Privilege, and also Cafe Del Mar.
Ooh, man! Good God, Sam Turner's summer sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate.
God, I don't know if you can sense jealousy there, but I think my jealousy is definitely showing. Now, finally, the final question of this series. I can put my phone away now because I've remembered the last question. Now, obviously, when it comes to DJing never goes according to plan. Obviously, those that have watched every series of these interviews so far will know of all the issues that we've had in the past of DJing. Can you tell me of a time where it went so crazy for you, like in the wrong way, crazy mistakes or what have you? Tell me about it. Tell your secrets.
Do you know what? I've actually been quite fortunate when it comes to playing out. Don't get me wrong, when it comes to having house parties, especially when things get a bit wonky, like it can go south. But with regards to playing out at events, I always try and stay a bit more reserved so I can put the best performance in as possible. But there's no actual major fuck-ups, if you like, excuse my language, that I've had when we've played out. So I've been quite fortunate in that respect.
I almost don't believe that. That's all I'm saying. Because, come on, mate, we've all had mistakes here. Dan was telling me a brilliant story in the previous video.
Now, do you know what? The only actual thing that comes to mind that I can think of that I've done out that hasn't gone to plan. So, where you've got the auto cue on the decks, when you're queuing up the next track, if you've got the auto cue on the wrong setting, you'll cue it, and instead of it taking you back to the start of a track, it'll actually take you back to the previous track. Nah, I've been out and I've played the track, cued the next one, that's in. And as I'm bringing the next track in, I'm thinking, this sounds familiar. Thinking, wow, this was the one I was playing before this. So I ended up having to stick it on a loop and try and go somewhere with it. But yeah, it turned out for one of my pals that was actually the highlight of the evening. So it didn't turn out too bad.
You made his night by that. You know, that could happen to all of us, right? So, but I must admit, you know, so far I was expecting to hear such stories like, you know, well, actually, no, I was going to say something, but I think Dave Collins will say what I was just about to say. I'm going to say that for later because he has a funny story. Because yeah, his story is just a bit mental about when it comes to DJing. But we'll hear from that in the next interview. So yeah, the next interview will be, well, actually no, it's going to probably be Amber. I don't know which direction these things are going. But in the next set of interviews, we've got Amber and then we've got Dave Collins on the mic. Dave Collins is very nervous when he comes to interviews. How are you for interviewing? Are you unbelievably nervous right now, or are you pretty calm?
To be honest with you, I feel pretty calm, mate. I'm not easily unsettled. I'm generally calm most of the time. So yeah, it's not an issue.
Cool as a cucumber, what can I say? And speaking of cool, it's freezing out here, so we're all going to go inside now because it's freezing. But that does it for the Sam Turner interview, and yeah, be on the lookout for the next interview. Yes, Dan.